advantages in the country. And as always, the zoo will be hopping as UConn comes to town. Trey Woodall looking to end his Pitt career undefeated at home against the Huskies. And Shabazz Napier and UConn trying to extend their win streak over Pitt to 3.
These buildings take on so much meaning because of the memories they hold, not just of victories, but of celebrations. People sharing the time of their lives and their love for their schools, their teams, and each other. The great arenas of the college game, where classic encounters are played and memories are preserved forever.
To ESPN's coverage of Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy, part of My Home Court, our week-long celebration of great college basketball arenas and venues around the country. Big East action as UConn faces Pitt, and welcome everyone inside the Petersen Events Center. John Saunders alongside of Derek Wittenberg, one of the great guards in college basketball history. When we talk about great guards, we're going to see a couple of them here, although for a while it looked like Shabazz Napier might not be able to go for UConn today.
Shabazz Napier is a great offensive player. He can knock down the three-point shot. He can penetrate and get his teammates involved. And he's an excellent rebounder at the guard position. Shabazz Napier can do it all for UConn.
Got dinged up against Louisville, but will go on this one today. Although we have great guards as we go one-on-one, this game could be decided because of rebounding.
It's going to be a rebounding game. Pitt is known for their rebounding and defense. They're plus 11 when they win the basketball game. If they out-rebound their opponent, Pitt has to rebound if they want to get a win tonight.
So let's take a look at our starting lineups. And Derek, you want to key in on Ryan Boatwright, the other half of that great backcourt for UConn.
Yeah, Boatwright can score. He can defend. He's going to be a key tonight to get UConn off on the offensive end.
See, they are 2-2 in conference play right now for Jamie Dixon and crew. James Robinson is the guy who makes things go.
James Robinson, the freshman, he has to defend Boatwright on the other side. He's got to do a nice job of containing the tempo for Pitt.
See, Pitt is 2-3 to start Big East play, and there's a look at Shabazz Napier. He has left shoulder injury in that loss to Louisville, and Coach Ollie was telling us it still hurts him a little bit to go up and jump to.
Yeah, John, he's a tough kid. Watching him at practice, he's not going to miss the game. He hasn't missed a game since he's been at UConn. I'll expect him to miss the game tonight.
Well, things got underway. They didn't like the way the tap went. And that ball is going to be given to the UConn Huskies.
John, I'm going to make an early prediction here today. The first team to 60 is going to win this basketball game. First team to 60.
We know both coaches like to get a little more offense than that out of it. Daniels cut off and swings it back out to Napier. Boatwright cut off by Robinson, spins, and Adams goes up with the block.
Great block that time by Adams, really blocking that lane to keep Boatwright out of the lane for a score.
And then down on the blocks, a great move by Talib Zanna.
Zanna, that's where he's good at, John, right down in the block. Zanna, the leading scorer right here. First, after the block, the big fella denies Boatwright inside, and then Zanna in the post where he's dangerous. Their leading scorer really finishes strong inside.
Olander with the rebound off the missed free throw. We talked about how raucous this crowd is. Nice dish underneath, and the foul on the play is Omar Calhoun. Took it to the hole. The freshman will go to the free throw line.
John Calhoun has really stepped up his game. He's really had some nice games of scoring, being that third scorer. Got to look for that tonight. Who's going to be the third scorer for either one of these teams in Pitt? The third scorer that scores in double figures is going to be a key for the win tonight.
There's Kevin Awley, and what a job he's done in his first year. I mean, it's difficult to be in your first year anyway, but when you're following a legend in Jim Calhoun, a Hall of Famer, how difficult is that to take that program over?
Extremely difficult, but Jim Calhoun was built the UConn program is the reason why he is a Hall of Fame coach and over 800 wins, third all time. But Kevin Awley was a great player. He has the pedigree, and he's been rewarded with a 5-year contract because he's done a great job at maybe an early Coach of the Year in the Big East thus far.
Nice job by Olander to make Adams move his feet and turn the ball over. Olander in the high post. And now Pitt will be off and running. Off to Daniel Smith. Woodall pulls up, and his jump shot is good.
Well, that's what we talked about. Good job that time by Pitt. A good defense on the miss. They took advantage of it. Got a run out, and Woodall knocked the open shot down for a score for Pitt.
Baker's cut off. Feeds it to Daniels, who drives, and he gets fouled.
Excellent job that time by forcing an outside shot, and Pitt gets on the run, and Woodall on the break knocks it down for Pitt.
That's almost a lost art, that pull-up jump shot. You don't see guys do that as much.
I love to see that Pitt really loves to get that ball on the break, get that rebound, and get out and run and take those early opportunities, that early offense in the secondary. I think there's some opportunities there.
Johnson and Ziegler come in for the Panthers. So some early changes for Jamie Dixon. It would be tough for these students to get up in the morning, come to a noon game, and be as loud as they are. No problem for the Zoo.
No problem for the Zoo. The outstanding crowd. The crowd is into the game, and as you know, Pitt is outstanding here at home, but they've had trouble of late. The Big East losing their first 2 games here at home in the league.
Zana, who has that range for the big fella.
But John Zana's showing us all parts of his game, stepping out, hitting that 17-footer. He's showing you he's the reason why he's the leading scorer for Pitt. He can do it all inside and out.
Boatwright creates a shot with a little step back. Jamie Dixon, who is one of the most successful coaches in the history of basketball after 10 seasons. He is just taking this Pitt program to another level, and be interesting when he has to take it to the ACC. So last time these two teams will match up here at the Petersen Athletic Center as Big East mates. The Big East continues to crumble apart. It's a shame to see that.
And Jamie Dixon, 8 straight NCAA tournament appearances. He's created a culture of winning here. This team has an identity of toughness and rebounding, and more importantly, they win here at home.
UConn, all 4 of their points have come from the line. Oh, great job by Boatwright defensively. And it takes it, tries to reverse it. Probably should have just gone strong and got fouled.
Wow, what a defensive play by Boatwright, but just couldn't get the finish there at the end. Good defense by Pitt.
Adams loses the handle. Napier spots up behind the 3-point arc and knocks it down.
And that's his shot, John. He can, like I mentioned earlier, he can knock down the 3-point shot. And UConn averaging 74 points against second in the Big East. They want to get out and run because they love to score.
Apparently that shoulder's not bothering them too much.
Especially the right arm.
Adams Adams sets the high screen. Ziegler with it now. He'll look to drive, something he does. Zana with a little ball fake that takes it to the glass. Adams with a putback.
Great job that time by Adams. Gritty creating space. The big fella showing you that he can attack the offensive glass, and he got in there for an easy bucket. Now, John, let's see if UConn elects to go back to Napier.
Calhoun misses the outside shot, and then look at the run. Zana with the tip. What a start for Talib Zana.
We talked about it. They're attacking that offensive glass. Coach Dixon's team talked about rebounding, and that's what they want to do tonight, is get on that offensive and defensive boards. If they do that, they'll have an excellent chance to win this game.
Daniels from outside. Three-pointers no good. Calhoun underneath with it. Loses the handle off of it. And we got a timeout on the floor. Pittsburgh, of course, one of the most raucous and famous student sections in the nation. When we come back, a closer look at the phenomenon known as the Zoo.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. What will you do in 5 hours? And in part by the all-new 2013 Ford Escape. It's what happens when you go further. And Gillette Fusion Pro Glide for incredible comfort, even shaving against the grain.
Today's game, part of My Home Court, our week-long celebration of the great college basketball arenas and venues around the country. And the Oakland Zoo, of course, named after Oakland, which is the neighborhood around this part of the university. Independently formed by Pitt students in 2001. The initial idea came from Matt Cohen during a January 2001 game against Syracuse. He said, with fellow student Zach Hale, Pitt student section was too calm. That is not the case any longer since the Zoo has been formed, because these folks, about an hour before the game there, were loud.
Hour? It looked like they were here like at 9 o'clock. These kids was ready to play. It's the Zoo, baby, here in the Pit.
And I don't think some of them went to bed last night. Great drive by Giffey.
Excellent defense that time by Pitt. Zana stepping in, taking that charge. Pitt is doing an excellent job thus far of shutting down UConn, getting to the basket, protecting the paint. Now UConn right now, John is setting up in a 2-3 zone. Let's see how Pitt's going to attack it.
Woodall and Ziegler, guys who look to drive and cut through that zone. Clock is down to 6. Zana from outside. The soft touch doesn't go this time. Calhoun cut off. Oh, and a pretty little shot from the outside by Wolf.
Good decision in that time. Wolf took advantage of it, getting a lot of opportunities at secondary. But this 2-3 zone is really slowing down the Pitt offense right now. It was hot early. Let's see if they can attack it inside.
Ziegler with the shot. Yeah, Pitt had hit their first 3 shots and then missed 4 to the next 6. And a nice little drive on the baseline there.
And that's how you attack a zone that time, John. Don't settle for outside shots. Sometimes you can drive the zone and get an easy bucket inside.
Boatwright. Boatwright who will cross you over. Underneath to Giffey, and he gets fouled. ESPN's Journey to the Tourney is a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. Our journey continues later today, 4 Eastern on ESPN. Number 6 Syracuse against Louisville, and number 1 at the Yum Center. Russ Smith and the Cardinals have been terrific this season. They absolutely destroyed this UConn team in the second half. Journey to the Tourney later today, 4 Eastern on ESPN. That's 2 fouls on Woodall, so that is some difficulty for Jamie Dixon.
That's a crucial foul right there to lose his point guard. 13 minutes left early here in the first half. Now, we talked about it earlier. James Robinson is going to be an important factor here. The freshman point guard taking over for Woodall. He's got to run the team right now and get everybody involved.
Taylor with a jump hook in the paint. Followed up pretty by J.J. Moore.
J.J. Moore that time got inside that zone, John, and got an easy bucket. You can see Pitt is really concentrating on getting on that offensive glass, and so, thus far, they're having a lot of success.
Boatwright, tough shot and tried to draw the foul. Oh, Calhoun just pulls that out of nowhere and drops it back in.
UConn saying right back at you. We're going to get on the glass as well and try to get us some easy opportunities. UConn has struggled offensively, but they're doing a better job of trying to attack the paint. If they continue to do that, they're going to get this Pitt team in foul trouble.
Going to whistle off the ball. That's against Wolf. His first foul. So Nolan will get off the bench for UConn. Nice little inbounds play. Can't convert. Boatwright wants to run with it. Oh, what a pretty move around Ziegler. And then Napier back to Boatwright. Launches a 3. Short. Moore with it. Oh, nice drive to the hole, but can't finish. And Giffey comes out of there with a rebound.
Unfortunate for Pitt that time. Had an easy bucket, but kind of extend this lead and just couldn't knock it down.
Evans lost the ball, grabbed it, and was able to get the timeout because he was going nowhere with that. He was on his knees with the ball. Well, up and down the floor early in this one. 14-11. The home crowd has a team. Back to Saturday's showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy, and plenty of energy early on in this one. Both teams taking advantage of the chances to get out and run.
Oh, I love the pace of this game right now. If they continue this pace, we're going to have a high-scoring game. Both teams are getting up and down, attacking the offensive glass, and being very aggressive on the offensive end.
Boatwright with it, and J.J. Moore stepped out on him and commits the foul.
Boatwright right now, John, is really being aggressive with the basketball, trying to take the ball to the basket. And right now, he's causing Pitt a lot of problems and getting them in foul trouble.
Pittsburgh already up to 5 team fouls. We haven't reached the midway point of this first half. The 5 into the corner, and Evans steps out of bounds.
Good rotation that time by the Pitt defense, John, cutting that baseline off and not allowing UConn to get inside where they've had some success.
And a full court pressure guarding the inbounds play, and then Boatwright steps up, gets on the ball, and Robinson. Again, Woodall is on the bench for Pitt with 2 fouls, their starting point guard.
James Robinson's a key, the freshman. He's done a great job thus far this year of handling the point guard position. Let's see if he can get Pitt involved in a good offensive play here.
Oh, leans in, difficult shot.
Right on cue, John Robinson, the DeMatha guy.
All right, don't start now. DeMatha, that is a deep-rooted tree of which you are part. Nolan with it. Takes it into a bunch of gold jerseys. Loses the handle now on the board. Tied up. Possession arrow goes to Pitt.
Wow, what a hustle by both teams. Everybody's getting on the floor for this loose ball.
This has been a great rivalry. When we come back, we will take a look at some of the magic moments between Pitt and UConn. They've just had some tremendous finishes and contests throughout the years.
Cavill just yelled, shot clock at 2. Malik Brown has to force one from deep. Armstrong not looking to score. Gordon is. Gordon driving, hanging, and he hits.
Walker on the gate with 4. Kemba Walker, step back. Walker, cardiac Kemba does it again. UConn wins at the buzzer.
So many tremendous moments between these two schools. It's hard to believe it's all coming to an end in the Big East Championship since 2000. Nobody's done it more than Pitt or UConn when you combine regular season and tournaments. And Brandon Knight, the guy who was part of it, was 1-1 against UConn in Big East Championship games. That guy was fun to watch.
Oh, great player. I'm a fan of Brandon Knight, but I really don't like Brandon Knight because in 2003, he beat my Wagner team in Boston in the NCAA tournament, and he was all over the court. I told him about that in practice, but what a great player he was for Pitt and an All-American, and that's why his jersey is up in the rafters.
More from outside, no good. Adams, a 7-footer, keeping that ball alive for Pitt. Couldn't corral it himself.
Nice job by Pitt getting on the offensive glass. Adams showing you that they're really strong inside and trying to take advantage of their size advantage against UConn.
Adams' little spin and gets fouled. That was Pitt's first three-point attempt of the contest. Our journey continues later today at 4 Eastern. Syracuse against Louisville. Season-long spotlight. Journey to the tourney. Games that will impact the tournament. And that Syracuse-Louisville game should be a tremendous one to watch. And being number one doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot. You don't believe that, do you?
No, I don't really. I mean, Louisville's going to lose a game here, and somebody else is going to be number one. And it's going to flip-flop back and forth, and the number one team never ended up winning the national championship. So number one is not really that important right now. And what's important is that there's anywhere of 20 teams, John, that can win the national championship. Any of 20. And whoever gets hot at the end of the year, that's the team that's going to win it all.
I was amazed at Louisville. This is only second time that they've been the AP number one team.
I watched them last week. They are tremendous. A lot of talent. Two great guards, and they get after you in that press, play that 2-3 zone, and they can score the basketball as well.
Well, UConn tossing that ball like Joe Flacco or something. There's nobody underneath to receive that. 3 straight turnovers for the Huskies. Back into their zone.
Pitt had success attacking that zone inside.
And they're going to send that the opposite way. Adams, a little clear out.
Right here, the big fat Allens really was getting his position inside. I thought he had good position in there, John, and referee Clark caught him for an offensive foul and didn't get an opportunity for Pitt to score inside versus that zone.
Daniels turn and cut off. Moore is right there to get a hand in his face. Robinson goes right to the goal. Difficult shot, tipped back, up and in, and looking for the foul was Lamar Patterson.
Yeah, but that's created by Robinson attacking on the break, John, going to the basket and allowing Pitt to get the offensive rebound. And it's Robinson right here, John, being very aggressive in the open court, and all the Pitt guys are attacking the offensive glass, and that's how they got positioned to get the tip in to extend this lead for Pitt.
A lot of gold jerseys around that hole. And Robinson took it there, and it was all as if everyone was expecting the ball to come off of the iron. And Kevin Hawley's upset because his team was standing around watching.
Well, that's Pitt's trademark. Coach Dixon's teams love to attack the glass offensively and defensively, and they're doing an excellent job on the defensive end of not allowing Pitt get inside for easy buckets.
Boatwright with his shake and bake, and Daniels cut off. Nowhere to go. Out to Boatwright again.
Shabazz Napier has to get more involved. He's their leading scorer. He's the guy that's got to get UConn back in this game.
UConn's gone 4 minutes without a field goal, and that ends right there as Daniels drops it down.
What a tough shot by Daniels. Watching this kid in practice, John, he's got a lot of potential, a lot of talent. He's that third guy I was talking about for UConn. If he can step up, he will give them an opportunity to win this game.
Robinson left alone for three. It's short. Boatwright has it come right to him. Outside to Napier. The pass was off the mark, and then he gets fouled. As Ziegler was just trying to get into position and kind of reached out.
Yeah, John, he reached out, but Napier is really clever and smart. He knows he's a veteran player. He knows how to draw the foul. He gave a little extra acting on that play right there, but Napier, the heady senior guy, can really play, and guys know how to get to the foul line.
7th team foul on Pittsburgh, so the bonus already for UConn. And Napier, what he's done on the season, the 17 points, is 8th in the Big East. He's the only player in the Big East averaging 15-plus points, 4-plus rebounds, and 4-plus assists.
He can do it all, John. He gets his teammates involved, but more importantly, they look for his leadership. He's got to lead this team. He's got to score. He can do it all. And he's proven right now that not only one of the best guards in the Big East, but he's shown that he's one of the best guards in the country.
He's been a key part of this team for 3 years. Right out of the gate as a freshman, he's a key part of this team. So now in his junior season, he's really become a leader.
He had to step in for Kemba Walker. We had a fantastic season and carried this team. Now it's Napier's chance to really show that he can be the leader and really take this program to another level.
Good ball movement by Pitt. And they're rewarded with the outside shot by Petersen.
Right on cue, John. Great job that time by Pitt of distributing the basketball, and that's how you get that open look, and they certainly took advantage of it.
Boatwright a little bit upset at Kafai, but I think that one's on him. He got in the air.
And this is what Pitt is really good. They love to share the basketball, and when they share it, they knock it down.
Basketball Studios, I'm Max Bredos, currently on the ESPN networks over on ESPN North Carolina with a healthy lead over Maryland as they look for back-to-back conference wins. And St. John's and DePaul, one of many games that you'll be able to watch all Saturday on the Watch ESPN app. Join Miles Simon and I at half. Right now, back to John Saunders and Derek Whitney.
All right, Max, thanks a lot. We'll look forward to seeing you and Miles get us up to date on what's going on this afternoon. The early games are getting us ready for this afternoon's games, including that Syracuse-Louisville matchup. Here we've got a very good one in the Big East.
And the story, John, thus far has been the offensive rebound and sharing the basketball from Pitt. And for UConn, it's been the turnovers. Defense for Pitt has been outstanding, not allowing UConn to get inside for easy buckets.
Shot clock goes under 10. Petersen from outside off the mark. It comes right to Zana. He's going to take it right back up and get fouled. Either Olander. No, the foul is going to go against Daniels. His second.
That time Zana got inside. When the shot goes up in a basketball game, you got to put a body on somebody. And UConn did not get a body on Zana. Took advantage of it and showed you that he can get on those boards and score it inside. And he's been really a force inside, getting into that offensive glass for Pitt.
Talib Zana has become a very good offensive player. He's a leading scorer for Pitt. About 13 points a game. He's got a nice touch around the bucket and can step out as well. Calhoun. Napier shot off the mark.
At that time, I don't know if Pitt, if UConn really recognized that Pitt was in zone that time. And Coach Dixon's team normally, he doesn't like to play a lot of zone, but because of the foul trouble, because Woodall has 2 early in this game, I think he's elected to put this zone in and try to keep him out of foul trouble.
Boatwright, floater is short. Adams with the rebound. Wright has an opening. Nice clear out by Zana.
Oh, you got it, John. Zana is the one that made that play and really created that opportunity. Pitt is really taking advantage of UConn's transition defense and not getting back, and Pitt is attacking on the offensive end.
A 10-point lead. Giffey, a little bounce pass down to the baseline. Calhoun with the reverse, rejected by Adams.
And Pitt's doing an excellent job in this 2-3 zone. And Big Adams comes over for the block, John. Why are they playing 2-3 zone? Because they want to keep their players out of foul trouble. They're already in the bonus early, and they want to slow down this UConn team from attacking them inside.
Shot clock at 4. Calhoun launches with 2 on the clock. Adams with the rebound. Oh, Robinson loses it. Boatwright. Oh, dishes it off, and a great finish by Olander.
What a pass by Boatwright that time. Taking advantage of a little miscue by Pitt. UConn really needed that basket right there to stop this Pitt momentum. Let's see if they can get some stops and get back in this game, John.
Petersen off the high screen. Nails it just inside the arc.
Defense for UConn didn't step out on that pick, and he took advantage of it. Pitt has really done a good job of executing the offense, did a great job of screening and sharing the basketball.
That looked like it went off of Giffey, but we're going to say it was last touched by Pitt.
John, this 2-3 zone of Pitt has really given UConn a lot of problems. Both Wright and Shabazz cannot penetrate the defense. And now they have to take their time in order to get a better shot versus this big zone by Pitt.
Both Wright launches a long three-pointer. That was way out there. The rebound comes right into the hands of Adams.
Pitt is doing a really good job with that 2-3 zone of pushing UConn out and forcing some tough shots.
Robinson. offensive foul. Looks like Adams are going to get. Adams cleared his man out, trying to free up Robinson. Got hit with the foul, and that'll be number 2 on Adams.
He really cleared it out that time. You talking about setting a pick. Adams really set a pick. Knocking the UConn player down. What a pick by Adams there, but another one of the key players for Pitt that's in foul trouble. Let's see if UConn can take advantage of that.
Tough pass into the middle, and then Gaffey makes it worse by committing the foul.
John, UConn is really rushing versus that 2-3 zone. They need to take their time, and you got to work the zone. You got to pass the ball around and get the ball inside. I think Boatwright at the time with a miscue pass that time and just threw it right into Pitt's hands. But UConn has really been off tempo with this zone. Pitt is doing a nice job of really shutting down the lanes and forcing Pitt to take time versus that zone.
Zana almost had that loose ball rebound. UConn fell a little bit asleep there. Napier, a little finger roll. It's off the mark. Back out to Calhoun. 5 with the rebound again. UConn 1 for their last 8 from the field.
Well, that's good patience that time, John, by UConn. Kind of taking their time versus their zone, and they got some success.
Good strong job on the boards by UConn as Olander pulls that board down. Just one and done this trip for Pitt. Napier to Calhoun. Zana has a rebound, almost had it knocked out by Olander.
That's a tough shot, that corner 3-point shot. That's what Pitt wants. Pitt wants UConn that takes those quick outside shots in order for him to get an opportunity to run on the other end.
Ziegler shot well short. He drove and just got a short arm. The zoo. It's early here in Pitt, but you never know with these students.
Coming up on the Land Rover Halftime Report, we'll play a game as Simon Says. I asked Miles about the big games coming up later this day, and he'll give me the keys. And the traditional college game day halftime shot, 0 for 32. Could we end that streak? Would we end that streak? Find out at halftime. Right now, back to John and Derek.
Well, Max, now I got to know. that was a great way to set that one up. Got to find out if they end that streak. Let's go inside the play right now, Derek.
Inside the play, Pitt is creating offense through their defense. They start playing this 2-3 zone. They're very active, forcing UConn to take outside shots and quick shots, and that way they can get on the boards where they're +6 and get out and run and take advantage of that great defense by Pitt.
See that 27%. Hitting the glass very, very nicely.
14 points in the paint, John, created by that great defense of Pitt. Really forced keeping UConn out of the paint, especially Napier and Boatwright, two dangerous guards, love to penetrate and get their teammates involved. UConn is back in their 2-3 zone, trying to force the same tempo on Pittsburgh, forcing them to take an outside shot. Maybe they can get on the break.
Shot clock down to 5. Oh, what a tremendous job by Moore to cut to the basket.
All set up by Robinson, attacking that zone inside, John, instead of selling for an outside shot. Nice patience by Pitt, and really getting inside that defense to get that easy layup versus the UConn zone.
Wolf calling for the ball in the middle, then steps out. Napier launches a long 3 that's no good, and again, they still have plenty of time on that shot clock. Moore from outside, and again, they just continue to pound the glass. As Taylor came up with that rebound.
Good patience that time by Pitt. Really taking their time, setting up their offense. And more importantly, John, they are attacking the offensive glass. When that ball goes up, there's 2 or 3 Pitt players attacking that offensive glass.
Out of bounds, so, and a little mistake made by J.J. Moore. He thought that ball was last touched by UConn and let it go out of bounds, and actually it been last touched by Pitt.
Well, John, it's important right now that UConn get a score to kind of stop this Pitt momentum. Down 11, they have to stop this run and get a score.
And Boatwright knocks down a 3. UConn had been 1 of 10 from 3 before hitting that one. That doesn't improve your numbers that much. Now you're 2 of 11.
2 of 11, but that was a big bucket, John, cutting the lead to 8. Now if they can get a stop and cut the lead to 6. Well, they haven't shot the ball well. They're still in this basketball game.
They should get another possession here if they get a rebound. Oh, with Robinson. The reason why he's the all-time leading scorer in Tabitha.
Wow, what a shot by Robinson that time. A deep 3. Not known for his shooting, but he can knock down the open 3-point shot. If he's left alone, Coach Dixon told us earlier today that he can really knock down open shots.
And in good hands to force the turnover. Petersen takes it. And the putback as again the glass belongs to the Pitt Panthers.
But John, it all starts with this Pitt defense. They're very active right here. They take advantage. They go right to the glass. And look at that, John. There's 4 Pitt guys under the basket. They're doing a great job of attacking the offensive glass. And now with a chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
And the biggest lead of the game. So UConn after coming back and a chance to, as you say, cut this thing down. And Napier lets it go, but only good if it was football and a field goal. That one went, split the uprights, but it didn't go through the net. Look at Pitt. 29%, allowing just 7 field goals and a +9 on the glass.
Well, great job by Pitt on the defensive end, but more importantly, they have taken advantage of getting to the offensive glass and scoring at will inside versus UConn.
Time now for the Land Rover halftime report. Let's go to Max Bredus. Of course, joined by Miles Simon.
Thanks, John. And we'll get to that halftime heave here shortly. But first of all, let's take a look at what is happening down in Tobacco Road, Maryland, North Carolina. Miles, North Carolina, they won their first conference game a week ago, and this is a team that struggled this season, but they're building from that.
Well, it's been the Reggie Bullock show during the first half here. 21 points for Reggie Bullock, 20 for the Maryland Terrapins.
This is a game that's just gone to the half over on ESPN. More from Bullock. We know they could score, but in this game, too, they've proved that they can defend.
Yeah, they're really turning Maryland over at a high rate. Maryland with only 2 assists, yet they have 14 turnovers.
They left their effort back at home against NC State earlier this week as we welcome into our halftime show with Miles Simon. I am Max Bredus. Let's take a look at that. North Carolina, a lot of people said this is a team that might be on the fence to making the tournament. They're not playing like it right now.
No, well, they are a young team, but they're playing well today. You need Reggie Bullock to play well. James Michael McAdoo hasn't had the season that he was expected, but when you lose 4 guys to the first round, you know, in North Carolina, they never want to hear the word rebuild, but it's a little bit of a rebuilding process this season.
All right, and certainly in our game, it is UConn who's looking to play spoiler, but Pitt getting the best of them will certainly get you back out there at the Petersen Events Center. But when we return here on the halftime report, we'll play a game, as Simon says. There's a big docket of games ahead. Miles will give you the keys to most of them.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Quicken Loans, engineered to amaze, and Wendy's. Now that's better. You're watching the Land Rover Halftime Report.
Over in the Big East, both St. John's and DePaul, if they can get hot, maybe they can get some tournament consideration. Both 10-7 on the season. Meeting in Rosemont, Illinois. There is D'Angelo Harrison with the jumper. And that's the difference of the game. St. John's lead it by 2 at the half. Time now for a little game we like to call Simon Says. Thank goodness your name is Miles Simon. It works perfectly. I'm going to give you the key matchups for tonight. You're going to give me a key to watch for. Let's start with the number 1 team in the country, Louisville, take on number 6, Syracuse.
Well, for Syracuse, it's all about taking care of the basketball. Between their starting guards of Michael Carter-Williams and Brendan Trish, those two guys average 6.4 turnovers per game between the two of them. Louisville's a team that forces a ton of turnovers, 20 per game, second most in the country. Russ Smith and Peyton Siva really set the tone defensively for Louisville. Russ Smith set the single-season record for steals last year for a Louisville Cardinal. The Syracuse Orange are going to have to do a great job of taking care of the basketball, especially with James Sutherland out.
You can see that game at 4 p.m. Eastern. Right before it, you can see Missouri and Florida.
And Phil Pressey has to control this basketball game. He's averaging 10 assists per game in the last month. But the problem is for Phil Pressey, against zone defenses, he turns it over 25% of the time of the possessions against zone defense. Florida does a great job of mixing up their defenses between zone presses and then zone in the half court.
Big one out of the SEC. Over in the Big Ten, number 11, Ohio State, coming off beating Michigan. Now they'll take on number 18, Michigan State.
Michigan State's a team that loves to pound you in the paint with Payne, Nix, and Dawson. They get 51% of their points come from inside the painted area. I don't think Ohio State has the bigs inside to match up, especially with Deshaun Thomas, Amir Williams, and Evan Ravenel in the post. Should be a field day for the Spartans going inside.
And Miles, it's not a conference game, but we're not complaining. Number 8, Gonzaga. Number 13, Butler. Before we get there, we'll go to the Missouri Valley, Creighton, Wichita State.
This is a big-time matchup. Doug McDermott, probably my leader for Player of the Year right now. He's going on the road to Wichita State, 28.8 points per game on the road, 61% from the field. But last year really struggled against Greg Marshall and his Wichita State defenses, only averaging 12.5 points per game in the two matchups.
Now let's get to that one, Gonzaga and Butler over Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Well, this is Gonzaga's arguably best team, and they do it in the post area. Here you'll see an isolation play for Elias Harris coming up to the elbow area. They love to clear out. Look in the post right there to Kelly Olynyk, playing some of the best basketball in the country, but you have to be aware of the post-up, which leaves a driving lane in this case for Elias Harris. Butler's going to have to do a good job of keeping Gonzaga out of the paint as best as possible. And then here you watch Kelly Olynyk, who's averaging nearly 24 points a game over his last 6. He's 7'1". He can get to the paint. He can shoot jump shots. And here you'll see, watch Elias Harris dive into the post area. They give a look inside. And you see Brock Modem on that weak side has to give help because Gonzaga, one of the best in the country at scoring in the paint. That leaves the 7-footer Olynyk wide open for the three-point shot. Too late on the closeout. They're going to make you pay almost all the time. And Andrew Smith is the guy that's going to have to do an exceptional job of guarding Olynyk and some of the other guys in the post for Gonzaga. But Andrew Smith has gotten into foul trouble in their biggest games against UNC and Indiana, fouling out of both.
And they're going to need him certainly with no Rodney Clark. Butler have won 12 straight, but that will be put to the test against the Zags. College game day was in Indiana to check it all in. And there's Kevin Schwartz. He had the halftime shot 0 for 32 coming in.
How about the eye black? Like he was going to the football game.
First shot. Nailed it!
Now, he called it and said that he was going to make his first shot, but if you watch the replay, when he let it go, he starts reaching for that second ball. He thought he was going to miss. He thought he was going to miss. He was talking it up a little bit too much, but congratulations to that young man.
A check for 18 grand. And salutations all around from the College Game Day crew that will be there all day in Indianapolis. And these are the ranked matchups, and there are several on the docket. These are just the games on ESPN from 2 p.m. all the way through 11 p.m. It's going to be epic. Stay with us, and if you have watched ESPN, use it. You're going to need it. We'll be right back.
This halftime report is presented by Land Rover. Above and beyond. This halftime report is presented by Land Rover. Above and beyond.
Earl Weaver, an icon in Baltimore, the manager of the Orioles for all those years, died this morning at 82 on a Orioles fantasy cruise. He took the Orioles to 4 World Series, did win it all in 1970 over 17 seasons. Back to college hoops, Ben McLemore cleared to play after he hurt his ankle. He was the leading scorer for Kansas. How important is this guy to the Jayhawks who take on Texas later? Well,
he's huge for them. Obviously, he can create his own shot anytime he wants. He's one of the best athletes in the country, and he's playing as good as anybody in the country as an All-American right now.
Expected to be perhaps the first pick in the draft based on how he performs this season. He'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to get you back out to the second half in Pittsburgh. Talib Zanna, they got some bigs through the Panthers, and they've used them. They are leading UConn at the break. We'll get you back to the Petersen Events Center next.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. Today's game part of My Home Court, our week-long celebration of the great college basketball arenas and venues around the country. Big East action as the UConn Huskies have some work to do in the second half, trailing Pitt by 13. John Saunders alongside of Derek Wittenberg. We talked at the open of this game about how great the guard play would be, but we also talked about the importance of hitting the glass.
Well, it's Pitt right now. All Pitt on the offensive glass right now. 18 points in the paint off of 10 offensive rebounds. Pitt has been dominating inside, attacking the glass. All 3, 4 Pitt guys, when the shot goes up, UConn is not putting a body on Pitt. They're taking advantage of it, and they're attacking the glass.
And the statistics show exactly just that. You see the offensive rebounds for Pitt, but you're going to shoot a high field goal percentage when you get second chance points.
Every time, John, if you get no second opportunities, you're putting them back in the basket. But more importantly, it all starts with the defense of Pitt. They've done an excellent job in that 2-3 zone.
They come out showing that once again. And we'll see what Kevin Ollie has diagrammed to break that up. And when you have Ryan Boatwright able to drive like that, that's going to solve that problem a little quicker.
Boatwright, excellent job that time, showing some patience versus that zone, attacking it inside with a little floater from the baseline.
Adams with a big bump at the top. Then gets it, ducks under, takes it to the hole, a little strong with the left hand. Boatwright attacks and then throws it out to Calhoun off his fingertips. The UConn throws 4 guys out there that score in double figures over the course of this season, and you see in the first half they barely add up to double figures.
Well, Shabazz Napier is their star player, their leading scorer. He's the one that's got to get hot to get UConn back in this game, and they want a chance to win in the second half.
Trey Woodall, who played sparingly in the first half because of foul trouble, comes out and knocks down that jumper.
Coach Dixon, John, not known to be a zone guy on the defensive end, recognized his team was in foul trouble, and he slowed down this UConn team by implementing this zone.
Daniels loses the handle. Boatwright into the corner. And Napier. No, it's Calhoun knocks it down.
Good patience that time by UConn. Really probing the defense that time. Pitt's doing an excellent job of keeping UConn out of that paint, but out of the corner there, knocks down that three-point shot to stop this Pitt momentum.
Adams really clogs that lane up, doesn't he? A nice steal by Boatwright. Gonna take it in by himself and flush it down.
Oh, right. Oh, he reminds me of Spud Webb that played at NC State.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What a play by Boatwright, showing that on the defensive end he's active and he's really been aggressive coming out in this second half. And Boatwright looks like he's going to be the guy for UConn that's trying to get him back in this game in the second half.
Yeah, he's been aggressive early on. Oh. Petersen with a great try and lean in as well. UConn's got to get some stops to get back in this game. Olander from the corner knocks it in.
But John, in the second half versus the zone, UConn is showing a lot of patience, really probing the defense, and they're getting a high-quality shot now with their patience on the offense.
UConn 4-5. Start the second half. Woodall, though, out of the corner for 3.
Woodall is feeling it right now. Woodall's very dangerous with that outside shot. Known for his penetration and helping his teammates with his assists. He's showing you that he can knock down the three-point shot as well.
Well rested, I guess. And again, shot clock goes under 10. Calhoun now has it stripped by Petersen. And then Petersen underneath gets fouled. Foul's going to go on Calhoun.
And once again, John, right here, the quick hands by Pitt, and they take advantage, and they try to attack right away on the offensive end versus Pitt, because UConn cannot get back on defense. Right now, it's important, John, for UConn to get some stops and score the basketball if they want to get back in this game. They can't trade baskets. They got to score and get 2 or 3 stops if they want to get back in it.
How tough is it when you have to work so hard on the offensive end to then go on the defensive end and do that as well? Boatwright from underneath trying to draw the foul. But you know what I mean? When you're working so hard on the offensive end because of that zone to score, now you got to run back and quickly get back on defense. We'll talk more about that when we come back, and we'll also talk about a great Saturday slate here on ESPN. Just a typical Saturday. Just your typical Saturday of college basketball here on ESPN. Missouri and Florida, Syracuse, Louisville, Ohio State coming off that win against Michigan. They'll face Michigan State. And then a couple of mid-majors. This doesn't make sense anymore, does it? Gonzaga and Butler, mid-majors?
Mid-majors by foot, 6th and 8th in the country. You kidding me?
Game day, of course, is at that Gonzaga-Butler game. Reese Davis, Tigger Phelps, Jalen Rose, and Jay Billis. They've been there all day. A long day when they work on a game day for those guys.
Butler and Gonzaga's 2 of those teams we talked about in that 20 teams. Either one of those teams can get hot. They can win the national championship. They got a chance just like any other team in the country.
There is no Kentucky this year, right? There's no team that you would point to and say they're a little step ahead of everybody else. Adams, big guy in the middle, sends it back out. Woodall, rainbow 3 that doesn't go down, and then Adams goes over the top and picks up the foul.
It's really unfortunate that time for Pitt, John. Woodall had a good look. It goes in and out, and Adams goes over top. Now he gets his 3rd foul, and now he's got to go on the bench. And let's see if Pitt will play that zone, but no, they're going back to their man-to-man defense.
Nice pass, but picked off. And running ahead, Pitt. He is fouled as Petersen goes in strong. He's on the floor. It's okay, but got banged up a little bit going to the hole. You ever drive? You didn't drive like that, right? You settled for the outside shot.
Oh, settle for the outside shot. It's much easier, John. Why go in there amongst the trees? Those guys knock you down. I'd rather settle for the 3-point shot and get an extra point. Right here, John, as you can see, they're going hard to the basket. Drawing the foul there. Pitt's doing an excellent job of taking advantage of their turnovers on defense, causing a lot of turnovers, and then attacking on the offensive end because Pitt cannot get back on defense.
Boatwright with a tremendous drive, just weaving his way to the bucket.
What a move by Boatwright that time, crossing over, weaving through all the big trees inside, and a little scoop-de-doo play and trying to get back in this game. UConn one basket at a time, but they got to get some stops if they want to get back in it.
Woodall's shot comes up way short, but UConn again standing around watching, and Taylor was almost able to take advantage. They're going to call a travel on Boatwright.
That was unfortunate for UConn. Boatwright had a lane wide open, and a little miscue there with the travel, but that was an opportunity for UConn to cut the lead. Now they got to get some stops. More importantly, they have to stop and get the rebound and get a run out on their own.
Petersen from deep.
Good execution that time by Pitt, using a little screen, and Petersen comes off there and knocks that three-point shot down to extend the lead back to 14.
UConn's turned it over 3 of their last 5 possessions. Whew, very nearly did it again. A little confusion in the offense. Napier spins, loses the handle. Back outside, and Calhoun knocks it in.
Wow, that was a big shot that time. That three-point shot was crucial that time to stop the Pitt run and get this game back in a manageable margin for UConn to get back in it. Now they got it down to 11. They need 2 or 3 stops in a row in order to get back in this game.
What's the best way for them to get that stop defensively? Do they have to become more aggressive?
They just got to be solid on defense and not allow Pitt to get an easy basket like Pitt just did. Can't give up easy baskets. If you want to get back in this game, you got to force Pitt to take outside shots and try to get the rebound and run out against Pitt like they're executing against UConn.
Ziegler with a conversion at that end, and then a little step in. The foul is going to be on Woodall, which is going to be his 3rd.
And John, right here, it looks like it's pretty good defense thus far, but now there's a miscue on the defense here by UConn. Ziegler takes advantage of it and gets the easy bucket to extend this lead for Pitt. UConn, in order to get back in the game, has to score and get stops and not allow Pitt to get easy baskets like Ziegler just got with that layup.
Boatwright trying to create, but Robinson has done a great job to stay with him defensively.
Boatwright and Shabazz are the 2 key guys. They got to attack this glass and get UConn back in this game.
Calhoun, who is, as you said, could be that next option for them, does a great job driving here.
Yeah, it's Calhoun that time with the left hand going to the basket, creating a foul. Now he has a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play to cut this lead to 10.
Johnson dumps it down near the post. Taylor back out.
Pitt is doing a good job right now. They're showing their patience and trying to work the offense to get it back inside where they had so much success.
Second chances at the ball, and that'll still belong to Pitt. Too many chances for Pitt to keep that ball alive, and Jamie Dixon's squad, part of the reason they lead by 11.
Max Bredos here in our college basketball studios with an update. St. John's and DePaul. Jamal Branch, who has 18. You're about to see two of them as St. John's looks to get their third conference win. They've beaten Cincinnati and Notre Dame. They're up 8 on the Blue Demons. And that's on Watch ESPN. Over on ESPN, North Carolina, who led by 22 at the half. It's now 14. Let's get it back out to John and Derek.
All right, Max, thanks a lot. St. John's, Steve Lavin. It's just great to see Coach Lavin on the sidelines again this year.
Great to see him back. He's doing an outstanding job with that St. John's program. Start off with some great wins here thus far, and look like they're trying to get another one.
UConn does get a stop. Evans weaves his way out of there with it. Boatwright just comes up and fires a long three. Chased down by Calhoun.
Good hustle that time by Calhoun. Get that second opportunity for UConn. They got this lead down to 11. They can score here and get a few stops and get it under double digits. They'll have a chance to get back in this game.
Boatwright puts the defense, finds Calhoun. Three-pointer's good.
All set up that time by Boatwright. That time, John probing the defense, getting in there, really driving in the basket and finding Omar an outside shot and knock that three-point shot down. And now the lead is at 8.
Calhoun with 14 points.
And Boatwright right now using this screen and roll down, splits the defense and sees Omar on the outside right there, and he knocks down the three-point shot and cutting the lead to 8. And now with 10 minutes to go, UConn can get back in this game, only down by 8. John, UConn is also getting back in this game. Shabazz Napier has really been quiet and not been involved. Their leading scorer. And so to do it without him is really showing that the UConn is really fighting hard to get in this game without their star player.
And then a nice job defensively. It's an unforced error on the turnover, but there's Napier on the bench. And so he's got a little bit of a shoulder problem with the left shoulder. Got banged up against Louisville. We don't know if he's nursing that or Coach Ollie just shows him to sit him down at this point. Wolf. Top shot, but dances it off the iron.
Good patience that time by UConn, getting the ball inside to the big fella to cut this lead, John, to 6 for the UConn Huskies.
Jamie Dixon has called a timeout. Wolf, the big fella here with a good touch. look to stay atop their divisions. David West leading the Pacers against Rudy Gay and the Grizzlies. An NBA special edition presented by State Farm Monday at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific on ESPN. Also live on Watch ESPN. Of course, Memphis. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, and Memphis a very, very important day in the history of that city. So the NBA did a great job to honor that.
Let's see if Pitt can go back inside where they had a lot of success in that first half and get this lead back. UConn is storming back with tremendous defense.
Patterson strong, too strong, and this time just one chance. Boatwright goes in. Evans almost has it and touches Boatwright out of bounds.
John, UConn has been tenacious in this second half, coming back, knocking down outside shots from three. Boatwright has been very aggressive and really getting his teammates involved, but it's been UConn's defense along with their offense that have knocked down shots to cut this lead to 6, and now UConn is back in this game.
Oh, but Woodall holds up and gets fouled.
John, Pitt really took advantage of the little pressure that UConn tried to implement, threw it over the top, and Woodall with a little scoop shot right inside knocks him down with a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
UConn already above the number of field goals they got in the first half.
Showing a lot more patience on offense and probing the defense and getting high-quality shots here in the second half.
Calhoun shot a little deep this time and knocked out of bounds back to Pitt.
And UConn is trying to pick up the tempo, picking up full court, implementing a little 1-2-2 pressure to try to slow down this Pitt offense right here. And leads down to 9 points. And
Evans with the good hands come up with that steal. Boatwright so quick with it back to Wolf on the baseline.
What a shot that time by Wolf. The left-hander right on the baseline, but all set up by Boatwright. Really probing the defense, really looking for opportunities for his teammates.
UConn 10 field goals here in the second half.
John, more importantly, UConn doing a better job on the defensive end and securing the rebound and giving themselves opportunities to score on the offensive end.
Evans slices his way to the hole, no good, and then again, Evans is out of bounds as the ball comes down and touches him. And so for UConn, they turn it over, but after trailing by 14, down by just 7.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. What will you do in 5 hours? And in part by Audi, Truth in Engineering, and Wendy's. Now that's better.
Time now for a college basketball studio update. St. John's pulling away from DePaul. Chris Obekpa, the leading shot blocker in the nation, but he's blocking no shot there, just a big flush. The Red Storm lead it by 17 a game. You can watch on watch ESPN. Coming up after Pitt and UConn, it's going to be LeBron Nash and Oklahoma State taking on Texas Tech. Tip in just over half an hour. Take it back out to a good one in Pitt.
Max, thanks a lot. We'll keep an eye on that one as well, as we have a 7-point game here that was a 14-point contest. Shabazz Napier coming back into the game. He's got the minutes, but just 5 points there. He's only taken 4 shots today.
Yeah, more importantly, his body language doesn't look like he feels 100% right now. It's his left shoulder, John, so it's not a shooting shoulder. He should be fine. But right now, if they want to get back, they've gotten back in the game, but they need Shabazz Napier to get involved offensively because he can light it up from the outside.
Kevin Ollie said even though it's not a shooting shoulder, that when he rises up to shoot and both arms obviously have to come up, he feels it some. But he also said, hey, if he's out there, he's ready to go.
And no excuses, and he wants Shabazz to really be himself and be aggressive and attack the defense.
UConn a little stronger job defensively, but then Olander. Calhoun gets hit with that foul, actually. And here's how he injured the shoulder. It looked like Peyton Siva reaching in.
But John, he's a tough kid. He hasn't missed a game at UConn since he's been there. Saw him in practice yesterday. He looked like he was grimacing a little bit, but he is fine. He's a competitor. He wants to get out there and help his teammates, hopefully get a victory today.
Pitt's just 7 of 15 from the free throw line, so they're hurting themselves there. One of the reasons why UConn is hanging around in this thing, although they've been much more aggressive offensively here in the second half.
And UConn stepped up their offense, but been 10 of 16 in the second half. That time, Boatwright is the guy that has been bringing them back with his ability to get inside the defense, driving to the basket, and getting his teammates involved.
Boatwright, 8 of his 12 points coming in the second half, and you can see on that play he wasn't content with just scoring. He wanted to draw a foul as well as he bumped back in, looking for contact. Watch as he jumps back.
Absolutely. Boatwright right here, really going right into the big fella, using his body. He's a tremendous athlete for his size, and he's showing you that he's not afraid to go up against the trees and get a basket.
ESPN College Basketball available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at watchespn.com and with the Watch ESPN app. I find myself watching at least 2 games at the same time now. I have that thing.
Absolutely. And Patterson's come off the bench and giving Pitt a nice lift and trying to get this lead back up to 8. But it's UConn as well being very aggressive on the offensive end with a chance to cut this lead back to 6 or 5.
Daniels puts it on the floor. And he gets fouled as he is very aggressive going to the goal.
Daniels has a lot of talent, John. If you watch this kid in practice, I think he's got a lot of potential. He can play both the 3 to 4. He can even play the 2-guard position. Very versatile player. He's another guy that can step up for UConn offensively and get him back in this game.
The ball's going to stay with UConn, but a nice job by Pitt to trap on the inbounds play.
There's no reason for UConn to panic. 6 minutes and 19 seconds to go. Only down 8 points. Plenty of time. They have to get some good opportunities here on offense, score, and get some stops if they want to get back in it.
Boatwright reverses and gets fouled.
What a move by Boatwright this time, John. Well, this kid's showing a lot of heart. He has no fear going inside. Watch Boatwright right here off of the screen and roll. He's really dips and doodle. Oh, against the big guy, using the rim to shield the Pitt defense and scoops it up. And now with a chance, John, for the old-fashioned three-point play to cut this lead to 5.
And Adams picks up his 4th foul as well. Boatwright has scored the last 7 points for UConn. And it's down to a 5-point lead.
UConn extends the defense, trying to pressure the basketball and force Pitt to take a tough shot so they can get back on the offensive end and attack.
Zana sits that screen. Patterson with the drive off the mark. Defy with the rebound. Boatwright. Napier.
Good patience that time by UConn. Good smart play that time. Sabaz. Napier really pulling that ball out to set up the offense with the opportunity to cut this lead to 2 or 3, John. Great job by UConn coming back in the second half. And John, we talked about Ryan Boatwright right here. He's been the catalyst here for UConn in the second half. He's knocking down shots. He's getting his teammates involved. He's been active on defense. He's been the guy that really has brought this UConn team back into this game. He's a variety of shots. He's no fear for UConn, for the little man going inside and attacking that Pitt defense. And he has been the catalyst and the guy that has brought UConn back here in the second half.
With the ball and down by 5, Kevin Ollie called that timeout so he could diagram a play.
Now Pitt elects to go back to that 2-3 zone where they had a lot of success. They gave UConn some problems, and let's see how UConn can handle this 2-3 zone.
Going to the middle, and Will sends it out. Napier's shot. Good.
That's a good sign for UConn, John. Their leading scorer, their guy. Napier knocking down a 3-point shot. He's dangerous from out there. And now UConn has gotten this lead back down to 2 points. UConn is in this game.
Now Jamie Dixon calls a timeout.
John, look at the ball movement here by UConn. Getting the ball inside versus that zone and finding Napier. And he knocks down the 3-point shot to cut this lead to 2. And UConn is excited, and they're back in this game, forcing Pitt to call timeout.
See Evans on the bench with his hands go up. And Jamie Dixon told us before he's concerned about the consistency of his team. Sometimes they come out and they play great. Probably their best first half of the season. What some of the people who follow the Pitt program were telling us. And they come out a little flat here in the second half, where I actually give credit to UConn for being a lot more aggressive.
A lot of credit to UConn, but right now it's a crucial time in the game with 4 minutes to go. You only had a 2-point lead. It comes down to guard play, John. The guards are going to be the key. Can Robinson and Woodall get Pitt the lead and close the game out, or is it going to be Napier and Boatwright who's going to take over this game and steal a win on the road for the UConn Huskies?
Woodall looking to drop it off and drops it right into the hands of Gafai, who goes coast to coast and throws it down.
But all credited that time by Napier. Great defense that time. And also on the break, Napier with a little pick and allowed his teammate to get a big-time dunk and tie this game up. UConn is back in it, John.
Woodall, though, comes and answers right back. Boatwright drives and gets his floater to go, plus the foul.
Whoa, this Boatwright, what a player he is, John. Forget about his size. His size means nothing. He's athletic. He can get to the basket. He can shoot the 3. This kid is versatile. And now with a chance to tie the game up with the old-fashioned three-point play.
Back tied at 58 apiece.
This is a critical possession for Pitt right now. UConn has the momentum. Pitt has to get a good opportunity and score to stop this UConn momentum right now. They have turned the defense up, and now they're back in this game.
Patterson pulls the string on it. Taylor sets a screen and then rolls off of it. And then back outside, and Robinson buries it.
And John, it's a guards game right now. It's the two guards. UConn's guard, Napier and Boatwright, versus Woodall and Robinson. Who's going to close the game out to secure the win for this Big East match here?
Daniels drives, gets it on the iron, and earns a trip to the free throw line.
And John, it's Boatwright, the little guy, gets inside for UConn, and now Pitt, Robinson from the outside, knocking down a three to give Pitt the lead.
An update from a game currently on ESPN. A 22-point halftime lead has been whittled down to 11, but Maryland, 22 turnovers, their most in an ACC game in 3 years, preventing them from creeping closer. At 2 p.m., first on ESPN, Florida will be taking on Missouri. Mike Rosario, 19 points for his A&M Thursday as the Gators thumped the Aggies. And on ESPN2, Jay Crockett, one of the best six men in the country, leading Texas Tech against Oklahoma State. Back to Pittsburgh.
Max, thanks a lot. We'll look forward to that one, but so we could have an interesting finish here. Remember, led by as many as 14 points. UConn has fought back to tie it, and right now Pitt leads by 3, but Daniels at the line. Talked about guard play, and Derek, you talked about how the guards have to take over late in this contest, and interesting when everybody knows that's what's going to happen, and yet it still materializes that way.
Guards handle the basketball in time and score situations. So Woodall and Robinson from Pitt is going to close out the game. It's going to be Boatwright and Napier for UConn. It's going to get them back in the game, trying to steal a win here on the road versus the Pitt Panthers.
Taylor is trying to post up underneath. Patterson didn't see him. Comes off the screen himself and shoots, and then Taylor goes underneath. He gets that rebound and gets fouled by Wolf.
That's a critical play right there for UConn. Did a good job of getting a stop, but you have to secure the rebound. And now Taylor has an opportunity to extend the lead on the free throw line. He could knock down a couple to extend this lead back to 4 with only 2 minutes and 47 seconds to go. It's a critical play for Pitt if they can convert.
Four ranked teams highlight tonight's ESPN doubleheader. First at 6 Eastern, 11th ranked Ohio State Buckeyes against number 18 Michigan State. Big Ten best conference in college basketball this year. Then at 9 Eastern, Battle of the Bulldogs, Gonzaga and Butler, and powerhouses there. It begins at 6 Eastern tonight on ESPN. Also on live. Watch ESPN. Watch ESPN app.
Big possession, John, for UConn right now to hopefully get a score and cut this lead to 2 to get back in this game and get the momentum.
Boatwright a little strong with a shot from the baseline. Zana with the rebound. Zana was such an offensive factor early in this game.
Looks like Pitt elects to burn a little clock. They have a 4-point lead with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Hopefully they can take some time off and get a good possession and score and extend this lead to 6.
Woodall, well short. Chased down by Napier. And he pulls the string on it. He waits for his teammates to set up the offense. He wants some movement.
Only down 4 points. They've got plenty of time in the game. They're going to need to get a high-quality shot and hopefully score to cut the lead to 2. Let's see if UConn can get back in it.
With 4 on the shot clock, the shot is no good. Woodall comes up with the rebound.
Tough shot that time by UConn, but Pitt now with a 4-point lead with 1 minute and 22 seconds to go. The clock is on their side. They don't have to rush. Take their time and try to get a high-quality shot and put all the pressure on UConn to get a stop.
Approaching 1 minute to go. Shot clock is down to 5. And the jump shot by Taylor is good. Oh, that's huge.
A big play by Taylor right there. Knocking down that mid-range shot to extend this lead for Pitt. Making it a 5-point game. And John, right here, it's all set up by Woodall. Good little pocket pass right there to Taylor, right inside. And Pearland knocks it down to extend the lead to 5 for Pitt.
Dante Taylor, the senior, he showed senior leadership on that play. Did not hesitate at all. They stretch the lead with under 1 minute to go. And the Zoo acting like a bunch of animals.
Wow, what a crowd. Who could expect a crowd like this in a 12 o'clock game? This place is packed.
It's always packed. They sell out every game, but packed is one thing, but when the crowd is going crazy like this and the students are so into it, what an atmosphere.
A big possession right here, John. UConn has to get a score and a stop if they got any chance to get a win here.
Boatwright lost the handle, but a reach-in may have bailed him out. Zana gets called for the foul. That's bad news because it stops the clock and lets him shave some points off without the clock moving. You don't want to get hit with a reach-in.
Oh, not at this critical part of the game. One thing you didn't want to do, you wanted not to foul, but now you fouled and allowed UConn to put some points on the board with the clock stop. Now it gives them plenty of time. With 46 seconds to go, they can cut at least a 3-point game. And now you have 2 possessions. UConn has a chance to come back if they can convert on the free throw line.
Boatwright gets it to 5. 19 points. 15 of those 19 coming here in the second half. As he's taking UConn on his shoulders. In a game that Pitt had dominated in the first half, leading by 14. Now UConn, you would think, was going to have to stretch the defense.
They are, John. They got full-court man-to-man, trying to force a turnover. To get back in this game, it's 4-point lead. They got to do something here. They got to get trapped or get a foul to create a turnover to get back in it. Allowing too much time to run off the clock.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, you want to do it a little earlier than that. Texas Tech and Oklahoma State will follow us here on ESPN2, part of a full day of college basketball on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN3, ESPNU, watch ESPN. Amazing how quiet the crowd gets when their guys shoot free throws.
That's important for the crowd. They need to allow their player to concentrate. But you talked about it, John. UConn needed a foul early, but now if Pitt can extend this lead to 6, UConn has to hurry, get a score, and set that defense up. They got to get back in this game.
Timeout called by Kevin Ollie. 26 remaining and down by 6. Okay, now a lot of coaches would elect to just go. Kevin Ollie, in this instance, his thinking is,
well, Kevin Ollie right now, he's down 6 points with 26 seconds to go. He's trying to set up an offensive defensive scenario for UConn. So what he want to tell his team right now, he wants them to take it to the basket, because Pitt is not going to try to foul like they did last time. And now, if they can score and cut the lead to 4 points, John, that way they can set that defense up and try to create a turnover and score again to get back in the game.
okay, but what offense quickly is Kevin Ollie going to look for here? Is he just going to put it in the hands of Boatwright or Napier and just go?
Absolutely. You got 2 outstanding guards, John. You put it in their hands. They both attack the glass. Pitt's not going to foul. Hope you can get an easy basket, set your defense up, and try to get a steal or a quick foul to stop the clock. And now you got a 4-point game, and now you're waiting for Pitt to miss the free throw, and maybe they can get back in the game.
Well, Pitt has done a good job throughout this game holding on to this lead. They did it early by hitting the glass and being dominant there. And here late in the game, after UConn had made a run, their guards then take over. Woodall and Robinson have been key, and then the huge shot by Taylor.
You got to take the shot quickly right here. Take it right to the basket and try to go to the basket, because Pitt will not foul.
Boatwright finally launches a 3. Napier chases it down, and it'll remain with UConn as Napier was able to bounce it off the Panthers and out of bounds. Another timeout for Kevin Ollie, as he knows he absolutely has to get these points right now. Let's go back to the studio and check in with Max.
Thanks, John, helping you navigate through a busy Saturday on ESPN. Phil Pressey, who leads the SEC in assists, will be headed to Gainesville to take on the Florida Gators, their first ever meeting, first of many in the future. And now one of the best freshmen in the country, Marcus Smart. Keep it here on ESPN2. You can see him lead Oklahoma State as they take on Texas Tech. But let's get you back out to the Petersen Events Center.
Max, thanks a lot. Phil Pressey is one of the best scars in the country. Boy, I had a chance to see him up close and personal last year. He can just about do it all. But for here, UConn with 14 seconds left, they've allowed a lot of time to go off on that last possession.
It's a desperate time right now for UConn. Now you have to take the three-point shot with 14 seconds to go and hopefully cut the lead to 3 and get the clock stopped.
Three-point attempt by Napier is off the mark. Rebounded by Pitt. And the foul. With 9 seconds left. That's going to do it, folks. Kevin Ollie's squad, they just dug too deep a hole in this game.
Did an excellent job, John, in the second half by coming back and had some solid defense and attacking the glass. But it's been Woodall and Robinson here for Pitt that has really closed this game out and made all the necessary plays for Pitt to secure this win here at home.
1-6, UConn will drop to here, and this is the last meeting they'll have with Pitt as members of the Big East. Pitt's last 11 points scored by Taylor and Robinson, and then they come up appropriately enough with a defensive stop to end the game. Pitt comes up with a victory. 69-61 is the final. Coming up next, the Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy continues. Big 12 action. Texas Tech taking on Oklahoma State. That's it from the Petersen Events Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Right now, let's go back to our studio. For Derek Whitberg, I'm John Saunders. Here's Max Bredhart.